The opposition insulted the mandate of the people, and abusive politics was being played by the opposition on the floor of the House, much to the fact that even the Prime Minister has been outrightly disrespected in Parliament. So the government maintains that it's a budget that is inclusive, that includes the betterment of every state. But like every budget, there are focus areas. And in this case, clearly there have been ally compulsions, but Bihar and Andhra Pradesh have long demanded attention, which has been given in this budget. Let's now shift focus, ladies and gentlemen, away from the budget to another aspect. And there has been huge drama in Karnataka. Ever since the Congress government came to power in the state, they have been tainted by one scam after the other. Political drama escalated in the state as the BJP continues to demand Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's resignation. The Congress is already on the back foot over the Valmiki scam that pertains to the alleged illegal transfer of 187 crore worth of funds from the Maharishi Valmiki ST Corporation. The alleged case came to light after an official died by suicide and alleged multi-crore corruption in the corporation. The concerned minister, B. Nagendra, quit post backlash, and the former minister was remanded to judicial custody for 14 days on the 22nd of this month. The Congress is now reeling under yet another scam, the Muda scam. The Mysuru Urban Development Authority, that is Muda, the scam. Under the scheme, 50-50 scheme, landowners are promised 50% of the developed site per acre that they give up to the authority, development authority, that is Muda. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's name cropped up after a complaint was filed against the Chief Minister and 9 others, including his wife as a beneficiary. The complainant accused the Chief Minister's wife of wrongdoing, a charge that was outrightly rejected by the Chief Minister himself. The BJP has demanded a discussion on the scam on the floor of the House, and this demand earlier was rejected by the Congress government. But some time back, there was talk that perhaps there could be a conversation, but this has now been rejected. The BJP JDS delegation met Governor Thawarchand Gehlot in Bengaluru and complained to him about the alleged Muda scam earlier this evening. The BJP called for a rally from Bengaluru to Mysuru over the Muda scam, and that's planned for Friday. The Congress will hold a counter rally from Mysuru to Bengaluru, highlighting the scams during the BJP's tenure. Now, reeling under 2 mega scams, can this Congress government really come clean, or is this really going to tie up the Siddaramaiah-led Sarkar in a bind? Mohan Vishwa, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP with us, Sanket Yanagi, advocate with us, and Anand Ranganathan, doctor, author, political commentator with us. Namaste. Jai Hind to everybody. Thank you very, very much for your time. Mohan Vishwa, what's the big charge by the BJP? Is it true or untrue that some of these land allocations happened during the time of Mr. Yediyurappa as Chief Minister? The Congress believes, and Mr. Siddaramaiah says, there is no wrongdoing.
See, Anand, since 14 months, the inception of Congress government in the state, if you see, every day in the newspaper and the news channels, you can hear only 2 words. One is scam, one is price hike. Only these 2 are happening in Karnataka. Muda is continuation of the other scams, done by state. See, if you see this, what is happening is, if Siddaramaiah is done correctly, why he is hesitating to discuss the same inside the assembly? Why is running out of it? And today, they have cut short the assembly session today itself, where it was supposed to end tomorrow. Why is he getting fear of discussing the same inside assembly? Instead of discussing over there, he is coming out and he's making a press conference and he is showing allegations against our government. And who is stopping him from investigating all those scams? If all there are scams, okay, and the government is in force from past 14 months. Why is he keeping quiet? Why is not doing any investigation? And he is telling some records, some scam of 2011. He was the chief minister between 2013 and 2018. What was he doing? Was he sleeping or what? Who is stopping him from investigating all the scams? If at all if there is a scam, let him investigate anything. We are not at all denying that. But here, in the case of Muda, it's a clear-cut case of scam where Mr. Siddaramaiah, who calls himself as a socialistic CM, has been awarded, and he has a compensation of 62 crore openly in front of media just 15 days back when you asked about this scam. At the same time, these sites belongs to Dalits. During 1991 itself, there was a notification to acquire those lands. In 97, the Muda acquired the land. Even after acquiring the land, there was a denotification. After that, this land was purchased from, again, those SC/ST community people. And there is a condition, if you purchase from those people, an alternative land also to be given. That condition also not met. Even after doing all these scams, the area in which the land has been acquired, the market price is minimum 4x lesser than the place in which the site has been allocated to his wife. That's a bigger scam. If you are aware of Bangalore, it's something like acquiring a land in Piddi and giving a site in somewhere in Siddharth Nagar. You know the difference between the rates, right?
Correct.
It's a clear-cut scam.
Yeah, that is not allowed in Muda. You're not supposed to be reallocating
Exactly.
land which is nearly 4x. That's one allegation. The other thing is that aside of the Chief Minister himself, there are so many irregularities that the total scam is alleged anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000
crores.
As per reports and as per the complainant himself, the original complainant. Sanket Yanagi, what's your response?
Truthful or otherwise, there are some allegations made. It requires an investigation. No doubt about it. Now the government has set up the criminal law in motion. The criminal law in motion in the sense the commission of inquiry has been already constituted and ordered. It is under the probe. When there is already an investigation, it may not be appropriate to have a parallel investigation by some other agency, which would override the investigation which is already being taken place. It's a matter of prudence, a matter of common sense, matter of law as well. It is not a case where the allegations are made and allegations go unanswered or uninvestigated. It is not a case where allegations have not been taken serious. No probe has been ordered. Government is pushing it under the carpet. But it is a case wherein there are serious allegations, whether it is truthful or otherwise. I reiterate that which requires a probe because the public fund is involved, public property is involved. All these matters of public importance require a clean chit to run the government, be it a Congress or a BJP. And this needs an order, a detailed probe. It is not a case of the BJPs that the probe is not being properly conducted or probe is not to be done by the Commission of Inquiry. When they accept the Commission of Inquiry being taken the charge to probe, they cannot parallelly say that it must be investigated as per their whims and fancies too. And they are not finding fault with the mode the Commission of Inquiry is proceeding with an investigation. So that being the technical and legal point, and they are making it out of the issue where there is no issue, in fact, in my opinion. Let them better find out the lacuna in the investigation and say, look, the Commission of Inquiry has committed a blunder, committed an error, which has not been properly conducted or lawfully, as is required, not been probed. Then they can seek for investigation by the competent agency. If the government is not agreeing to the request, they have another remedy to approach the court. They are not remediless. But the way the BJP is intervening in the session or obstructing the session to discuss about the other important aspects of the matter is just a waste of public time and money in the session to deal with other important aspects. BJP has to even responsibly behave as a responsible opposition and also allow the government to function as a responsible government. So at the end of the day, the people's money, people's interest is getting affected in not discussing other important aspects in this session.
Interesting. Interesting how Mr. Yanagi said it with such a straight face, but all of us here will agree that what the Congress is expecting the BJP to do in Karnataka, the BJP is expecting the India Alliance to do at the center. Yes, Mr. Raghunathan.
No, even the Congress spokesperson was gently smiling and laughing at his own statement. No, I have a couple of points to make. Anand, first of all, let me castigate you for making a mountain out of a molehill. Karnataka, there are no scams in Karnataka. It is a land of milk and honey. How dare you allege something wrong is happening in Karnataka? This is the place where it elicits no outrage when the sitting Deputy Chief Minister says there will be no money for development because we've run out of it. We are paying everything for those schemes that we had promised. This is a state where there is no outrage when they criticize the center for hiking fuel prices, and they hike so much of fuel prices themselves, and they give a reason as well that they have had to hike it. This is a state where nationally it elicits no outrage when 1,100 farmers commit suicide because burdened by terrible debt and drought, and the sitting minister in Karnataka says they are committing suicides because we have increased the compensation. Can you believe, can you even think of such an evil thing to say? But where is the outrage? There isn't. So please don't spread false narratives. Karnataka is the land of milk and honey, and there is nothing wrong in it. Now let me come to this point which my good friend, the Congress spokesperson, has made. With due respect to him and to all Indians, that includes
I'm
me.
not a Congress spokesperson, by the way.
The Congress supporter.
The Congress supporter. My apologies. My apologies. My apologies. Yes. Look, as far as conflict of interest is concerned, Anand, I have to say, we Indians, we understand conflict. We understand interest. But we don't understand when these two words are separated by a preposition. Conflict of interest, samajh mein nahi aata. When the Congress supporter says that there is no scam, there is nothing wrong in there. Let me explain the conflict of interest out here. You are a sitting chief minister. Your government promulgates a scheme whereby whatever land you own, if the state takes over that land, somewhere else you will get parcels of land. The sitting chief minister's wife, Miss, I forget her name. Parvati ji. Yes, the state takes over 3 acres of her land in some village in Mysore and gives her 14 parcels of land in upmarket areas. Is there no conflict of interest? I am aghast. In fact, the petitioners are the people to whom that original 3 acres belong to. The BJP has got nothing to do with this. This is a common man against the government trying to expose the conflict of interest. So, sir, please think twice before you say that there is no conflict of interest out here.
Sanket Yanagi?
Let me give an illustration of similar situation when the BJP is ruling in other states and central.
BJP is wrong. Let
1 minute,
BJP
please. I am not intervening. Please allow me to complete the
BJP is
sentence.
wrong. I accept BJP is corrupt. Please don't do whataboutery. Explain the conflict of interest.
I cannot speak as per your whims and fancies, please. Please don't intervene. So let me give illustrations where there was a serious allegation of misuse of the public fund insofar as Rafale is concerned. Was it investigated? Did the Prime Minister resign? Was it probed by? Please understand, Supreme Court said it will not intervene. That's it. No clean sheet has been given. Please don't mispropagate. Allow me to complete my sentence.
Supreme Court gave a clean sheet. Come on. What are you talking?
Okay, let him make his point. Let him make his point.
Supreme Court, please look into the judgment of the Supreme Court. I'm a lawyer. I'm responsibly making this statement. Supreme Court did not say that it is not a matter to be investigated. It only said it's a parliamentary accountability committee requires to investigate it. Supreme Court refused to investigate in that matter. Please understand, please read the judgment. Don't misconfuse. Don't confuse, don't mispropagate.
Let him make his argument.
And insofar as other points are concerned, was it allowed to be investigated by the Parliamentary Accounts Committee? No. Was it allowed to be investigated by the CBI? No. It was opposed by the government, saying that it is a matter of national interest, national sensitive issue, national security issue, whatever the case may be. It goes unaccounted, it goes uninvestigated, and the Prime Minister did not resign, the Defence Minister did not resign, nobody sought for the resignation of any responsible person. But the point is, when
let's not deviate from the main topic, Anand.
Okay,
these are all discussed.
No, 1 minute. Let him, he's coming back to the point. Yeah.
So keeping that aside for a moment, I'm not saying that these are not the matters which do not require investigation. I do say when the matter is pertaining to a public interest or the public fund or the public property, definitely it requires an investigation, and responsibly the opposition is taking up this issue, and I appreciate the opposition for taking up this issue because it's a matter of public interest. But having taken that issue, was it necessary for the opposition to curtail or obstruct an investigation by the investigating agency, that's Commission of Inquiry? It may not be appropriate, and they must allow. So as I pointed out, since they do not have any objection for the Commission of Inquiry taking up the investigation or probe dealing with the matter, there is no point for them to jump the gun. So in
Anand,
my
opinion,
there
is no point for them to jump the gun is what? Mohan Vishwa and then Dr. Ranganathan.
Yeah, please. Exactly. Anand, see, let me come to technical. Okay, I am also a qualified professional. Okay, so what he said, let me tell you, if at all, if there are some scam, if the investigation agency is either SIT or CID or CBI or ED, then the matter will be investigated, charge sheet will be filed, it will go to the court will decide. But here, in this case, what has happened is, in the case of Muda, just a day before the start of Vidhan Sabha session, Mr. Siddaramaiah, okay, he forms a committee under the retired Judiciary Commission. Why did he was keeping quiet for 15-20 days? Why he formed a committee just a day before the start of the session? Okay. After that also, if the retired judge gives a report, where does the report comes? It comes to the assembly again. It is at the will of the government to accept or reject that report. Who is there in the government? Same Siddaramaiah, same Congress. You tell me, is it fair when the allegation itself is on the sitting chief minister to do this?
Yeah.
This is what we are questioning. If he is
Mo-
not at all involved, let him allow for the discussion. We don't want to waste the public money. Let them give at least a day's time to allow discuss the same matter in the Vidhan Sabha. Why is not allowing it? He's curtailing the discussion. In fact, tomorrow the session was supposed to end. He ended today. Why is it fear of it? Instead of discussing inside Vidhan Sabha, why is he coming out? And he is making press conference and making some stupid allegations. That is what we are asking.
Did he curtail the assembly session because he didn't want to discuss that, or he didn't want the BJP MLA sleeping one more night inside the assembly? The sleeping inside the assembly seems to be a practice measure. Every session of the assembly, we see some party or the other deciding to sleep inside the assembly. I'm just saying it on a lighter note, but yes, the opposition has every right to ask. But Dr. Ranganathan, how can you blame the Chief Minister, sir? You just admonished me for asking questions about what is happening in Karnataka. It is the Chief Minister and his wife who have benefited from the sale of the land. The Chief Minister is saying, I will only set up a committee under a retired judge who will investigate that, and then they will submit the report to me, which then I will decide whether I want to accept it or not. He is perfectly within his rights to do that.
Of course, in the land of milk and honey, you not only ignore the conflict of interest, you heap more and more conflict of interest upon it. You will be the judge, jury and executioner, but can I please, with due respect to the rather erudite Congress supporter, when he says, look, what about the
Supreme Court on the Rafale judgment? Quote, we are thus of the view that the review petitions are without any merit and are accordingly dismissed, unquote. On point after point, the Supreme Court delivered slap after slap that the centre did not use false documents, that the question regarding the price was a mere suspicion, that the petitions saw themselves as an appellate authority, that the court did not see a fit case for registration of even FIR under section 156(3). Sir, you might be a lawyer, but you need to refresh your memory.
Sanket Yanagi.
Am I audible?
Yes.
First of all, the matter before the Supreme Court was to direct the CBI to register the FIR against the Prime Minister and other ministers in charge of the Rafale deal. Supreme Court said it's a matter of public interest, national security. It will not be even discussed because of the national security issues.
Correct.
CBI will not investigate. And these are the matters to be discussed in a parliament.
But
there is a committee called Parliamentary Accountability Committee. Accounts Committee, which will investigate it.
But
later, please allow me to complete.
Yeah, okay.
Supreme Court has not said no offence has taken place. Supreme Court has not said there is no offence which required an investigation. Supreme Court having come to the conclusion that these are certain issues which have to be discussed within a specified arena.
Correct. But Sanketji, even if I were to accept your point, although there are counters to that, one, sir, the Rafale deal was a government-to-government deal. There was no individual landholding, individual profiteering, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi or any of his family did not own a single Rafale aircraft, nor did they sell the Rafale aircraft and get F-16s or F-25s. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Please, for you to, no, 1 minute, sir. Respectfully, for you to equate the Rafale deal with the Muda deal, land deal, sir, that's a little too much of, I don't even know the legal parlance for it, but I won't even call it, it doesn't even fall within the realm of a metaphorical, example. Sir, here in this case, person A and the person A's spouse have land that has been acquired by an authority, and they have got land far into the center of Mysuru at 4x the rate, which is again brazen violation of the rule. And that person A and B have benefited out of it along with so many others because there have been abnormalities and irregularities. And this person A is now going to investigate the charge against him and person B. And you are saying this is equivalent to the Rafale case. Sanket ji, please, I still do, and I will credit you with far more intelligence than this argument, but I'm sorry. With respect, sir, I will not buy this. You cannot equate the Rafale deal with what Muda is doing. And here, Dr. Ranganathan and Sanket ji, I'll come back to you. I have to wind up because,
Yeah. I think the insinuation of Sanket ji was that if the Congress is corrupt, then the BJP is also corrupt. Let me help in that. He might have chosen the wrong analogy. But I agree with him. The BJP is corrupt. I say danke ki chot pe, and I'll give you an example. The High Court convicted the BJP for violating FCRA Act in taking illegal donations from a foreign company. Yes, BJP was convicted. If such a thing had happened, what did the opposition do? The BJP overnight amended the FCRA Act, thus rendering the High Court conviction toothless. If Congress, that was in the opposition, it would have turned out on the streets, demanded resignation of the Prime Minister, because this was a clear-cut case of corruption. But why didn't Congress do anything like that? Because the Congress was also convicted of the same violation. Because the Congress helped the BJP in amending the FCRA Act, going back to the emergency. So, sir, Sanket ji, you are absolutely right. If the BJP is corrupt, the Congress is also corrupt.
No,
your problem is
not
you
just
say
that.
only
Sir,
BJP is corrupt,
sir,
Congress
for
is
a
not
budget,
corrupt.
for a budget which was benefiting those states which needed funds, the opposition has disrupted Parliament.
Yes.
And here it is a case of graft. It is a case of profiteering, and they are saying that the BJP should not disrupt the assembly. Now one more thing that is going to happen. I have to wind up with. I have run out of time. One more thing that's going to happen. One party is marching from Bengaluru to Mysuru. The other one is marching from Mysuru to Bengaluru. What's going to be? What is going to be tested is the quality of the roads, and also the food at the eateries on the way. That's what's happening. This whole politics is nothing but a mockery. Open and if there is graft, there is graft. If there is profiteering, there is profiteering. I don't know which way Karnataka politics is going and what the voter will do. Seriously, it's now become, it's taken more than 1 month that flyover is not opened. Why? No VIP from the state or from the center. Wow, fantastic. Clearly land of milk and honey, Dr. Ranganathan. Have to wind up on that note. We'll take this forward on Friday. Thank you very, very much, gentlemen. Thank you. Moving on. A day after former Andhra Chief Minister Jagan Reddy's Delhi visit protesting over the political murders in the state, the TDP President and Andhra Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu escalated the attack in the state assembly and compared the former CM to slain Colombian narco-terrorist Pablo Escobar. Chandrababu Naidu claimed Andhra Pradesh had become the ganja capital under Reddy's rule. Naidu went on to say how religion was under attack under Jagan's rule and temples were desecrated with a hidden agenda. A very, very strong charge that's been made. CM Naidu's big charge against Jagan was that religious places were attacked under YSRCP government. Hidden agenda behind temple attacks. Lakshmi Narasimha chariot caught fire. Ram idol was vandalized at Ram Tirtham. And silver was stolen from the Vijayawada Durga temple. Nandi statue was stolen from Nellore Shiva temple. Cases were slapped against us when fact-finding team visited Ram Tirtham. Sentiments of devotees were hurt in Andhra. Deepak Reddy, national spokesperson of the TDP and ex-MLC, should be joining us. Konda Rajiv Gandhi, YSRCP spokesperson with us, and Dr. Anand Ranganathan also stays on in this conversation. But let's first go across to Konda Rajiv Gandhi with us at this point. Namaste, Jai Hind. How would you respond to these allegations? How would you respond to these allegations made by Chandrababu Naidu garu?
Well, warm good evening. First of all, Chandrababu Naidu is a man who can assassinate the character of anyone for his own political existence. If you see the political history or scenario of Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, he didn't even step back in assassinating his character of his own father-in-law, Mr. Senior NTR. He in a very disgusting manner, he assassinated the Senior NTR character in his friend's paper called Deenadu in the form of dirtiest cartoons in the political history of Andhra Pradesh. So this is nothing new to the people of AP, especially whenever Babu needs a political space or whenever Babu in some downtrading traditions, definitely Babu will come and attacking in a Goebbels manner. Today, Chandrababu Naidu comparing our party chief and the ex-chief minister of Andhra Pradesh with some drug lord, it is being very astonishing. Why? Because we people compare Chandrababu always with the Goebbels, who is a propaganda minister in Nazi's rules. We thought that there is an end for that era in 1945, but Babu may feel as it is false. Still, that era is existing in the form of Chandrababu Naidu in Andhra Pradesh.
So are you trying to say that you are allowed to call people names and compare people with Nazis, but others cannot compare your leader with drug lords if there is an evidence of ganja consumption rise in Andhra Pradesh, and if there is an agenda or a hidden agenda which is pointing towards conversion and working with certain allied groups? 1 minute. Deepak Reddy ji, your response?
A very good evening. In fact, Chandrababu Naidu ji, being the chief minister, and he was in the house today, so he was very polite in his words. I think Jagan Mohan Reddy is something far more than the drug lord Pablo Escobar, because Pablo dealt only with a few drugs, but in the case of Andhra, he was dealing in liquor, he was dealing in ganja, he was dealing in hard drugs, and there were certain containers. One of the largest catch in Indian history. 2 of the containers had their links to Andhra Pradesh. So you can draw your conclusions from that. Now coming to the temples issue, there were more than 320
Here is one thing,
attacks.
Deepak ji. You are making this allegation. We as a channel do not endorse it, and I as a person do not endorse when you say that these were directly linked to Jagan Mohan Reddy or the YSRCP. They were linked to Andhra Pradesh, yes. But do you have proof when you say that Jagan Mohan Reddy or the YSRCP was directly linked to it? That's the key question.
Coming straight to the ganja issue, not just Telugu Desam party saying, several police chiefs of several states across India have clearly confirmed that the ganja is originating from Andhra Pradesh, and the leaders of YCP are behind that. I mean, you can't have such a free flow unless there is political patronage. Point number 2, as far as the alcohol is concerned, I mean, we have calculated the corruption in the last 5 years between 60,000 crores to 1 lakh crores, where Kejriwal is like a kindergarten student front of the corruption, what was done in this state. And the drugs, both the containers had their offices in Andhra, and the addresses were given in Andhra. One of the containers, the address location was linked to a YCP leader. So we came out with
So that's
all
how
these
you're drawing the party allegation. The other allegation that Chandrababu Naidu garu made on the floor was of the hidden agenda or conversion, that there was a straight attack, direct attack under Jagan Mohan Reddy's rule on the Hindu way of life in Andhra Pradesh, at temples, idols, and of course was the agenda to back missionaries and conversion.
I'm glad this issue has come up now, because people generally tend to be politically, they don't want to talk these kind of things. But I had the privilege of walking along with Lokesh ji on the Padayatra, and I've seen like so many rural places where the temples, are not even 20 to 25%. The other 30 and 30 are new mosques and new churches built in a whole lot of rural places of Andhra Pradesh. But they claim to be Hindus. But they're actually converted and they're going to the churches. You can clearly see that. Okay, now that is not the issue here. The bigger issue here is the first 1 or 2 years of Jagan Mohan Reddy's government, more than 300 temples were attacked and desecrated. We have made a huge, hue and cry about it. And some of the leaders had the audacity to come and say that Chandrababu Naidu ji from Hyderabad went to one particular temple location in the night, put it up in fire, and then again he came back to Hyderabad.
Yeah.
This was irresponsible comments which were being done by the then ruling party. So, if it is 1 or 2 or 3 temples, that's fine. But a total of around 300 attacks have taken place. So it was done in a collaborative manner, where there were no CC cameras, the attack was taking place. So there is clearly a motive behind that.
So
and last point, Jagan Mohan Reddy and his family are practicing Christians. We have no problem about that. But when Jagan Mohan Reddy visits the temple, Balaji temple, all we were demanding is he has to sign on the declaration saying that although he is not a Hindu, he respects the Hindu traditions and the traditions of the temple and go in. He never did that. So this is blatant violation of the sentiments of Hindus. And they started selling the TTT lands. A whole lot of deliberate attacks were done on the Hindu community in Andhra Pradesh in the last 5 years during Jagan Mohan
some
Reddy's
serious
government.
allegations that you've made, Konda Rajiv Gandhi, before I get your rebuttal. Dr. Ranganathan, your point, and then Rajiv Gandhi, please respond to all of them. Yeah.
No, very erudite Mr. Reddy before me has spoken, and he's told of the facts, what happened under Mr. Jagan Reddy. The truth is that he's also being selective, because if I were to talk about what happened under Mr. Chandrababu Naidu before Jagan became the Chief Minister, those 5 years when Mr. Naidu was the Chief Minister, they were on average 200 temple-related offences every year, amounting to about 800, 900 on average over 5 years, that involved as many temple idol thefts, ornament thefts, desecration as that happened under Jagan Reddy's dispensation. So let's deal with facts out here. Both the regimes of Mr. Chandrababu Naidu and Mr. Jagan Reddy have had on average the same number of temple offences and temple and idol thefts. That I'm giving you the stating the facts that were on the floor of the assembly. So there is no contention out here. The other fact is it also not a fact that conversion happened under Mr. Chandrababu Naidu's regime as well? Is it not a fact that as many temples were under the control of the government as they were under Jagan Reddy? But over and above, with due respect, I like to ask, is it or is it not a fact that Mr. Chandrababu Naidu wanted 4% blanket reservation for Muslims?
Deepak Reddy, do you want to answer that? And then we'll bring in Konda Rajiv Gandhi. Yeah.
There's no secret on that. That has been our party policy way before we had an alliance with the BJP. So and when the manifesto was being issued, the BJP representative also was there, and they say they respect the beliefs of, the policy of our party. That has nothing to do with the temple desecration. The temple desecrations in Andhra Pradesh during Jagan Mohan Reddy's regime was collaborated and with a malified intention. Now, that's the topic, and it was done with an intention to target the Hindu community and hurt the sentiments of Hindu community. So this is something which has to be looked at.
Right. Konda Rajiv Gandhi.
Well, my friend Mr. Deepak ji also stating such kind of statements, it's really hurting, or even you also have to think, if something happens under your governance and you feel that it is not with malified intention, but if something happens in the other government and you're ready to comment that it is with malified intention, what is this? Is this justice for you is one side and justice for us is the other side? Is this the right way to speak? Well, please you have to confirm. There were 30 people killed in Pushkaras. You know, Pushkara is very much related to Hinduism. It is like a very, very purified water, and we have very, it's a historical event which comes for every 12 years. In such event, 30 people were killed due to Babu. Tell me one thing, Babu, with a malified intention, he want to demolish the Hinduism and Hindu system. Babu and his family willfully and malifiedly killed 30 people. If I comment that, what will be your comment? See, coming to the point of the Hinduism or Christianity or Muslim, whatever it may be, every religion should be treated equally and respectfully. As a Hindu, I respect my religion, I love my religion, and I respect other religions too. As you quoted that, whoever belongs to other religion, if they visit to Tirumala, they have to sign there. Well, you're such aware, but even you should be aware that whoever goes to the Tirumala temple by steps, they need not sign over there, because people which come by steps, definitely they can go and have a darshan. See, for everything there will be a rule and regulations. Simply you people trying to divert the politics. The matter about the politics in our AP current situation is about the brutal murders, about the atrocities, about the attackings, about the demolition, about the law and order. This is the issue, and you're intellectually diverted this issue into the Hinduism, and you're talking about the drugs and ganja. Let me tell you, you're the speaker. Who is the speaker of Andhra Pradesh? I have many proofs with me. If you can't keep it on the screen, I'm ready to send through WhatsApp or something. Because your MLAs, your ex-MLAs, even your speaker, who are related with the ganja businesses, and you said the 2 containers drugs, right? The BJP chief Purandareswari and his son were directly related with that company, and what happened to that? Okay, if we are related or you are related, let the CBI decide. You are in the government, right? Everybody in India knows that if Babu retains his MPs, definitely this NDA government will be collapsed. So you are the supreme power, right? Let's go to a CBI inquiry with all the ganja activities and drug activities in Andhra Pradesh. How much time you are required? Will you can
Deepak
you
Reddy, quick
see
response.
something within 6 months or 1 year?
Right.
Come on,
I mean,
don't
see,
deal with the words. Please
I
go
like
with
to
action.
talk. I like to talk straight to the point. The issue here is that did Jagan Reddy intentionally hurt the sentiments of Hindus? Yeah, their family are practicing Christians. I have no problem about it. All I'm saying is that they have to respect the sentiments of the Hindus. Jagan Reddy's sister got married in a church, and when Mr. Rajshekar Reddy passed away, the last rites were conducted with Christian way, and Jagan Reddy's mother carries a Bible wherever she walks, and in the Jagan Reddy's house in Hyderabad has a cross on it. So they are practicing Christians. So why don't they respect the sentiments of Hindus? Is what I'm telling. And when 330 temples were attacked in their tenure, what action have they taken? Is a straight question what I have to ask.
Right. 1 minute, Dr. Ranganathan, I have to wind up. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, quickly.
Now, as I said, Mr. Reddy is a very dear friend and very erudite. He still has to answer the fact that if the same number of crimes happened under his regime and the same number of crimes happened under Mr. Jagan Reddy's regime, as I have given you the concrete data, this is government data. So you can't be wrong there. You have to explain why he's saying that under one regime, they were anti-Hindu and that is why it happened. But under our regime, we weren't anti-Hindu and still they happened.
Right. So you got to walk the walk and talk the talk. That's where it stays. Now in this regime of Chandrababu Naidu, what happens and are the guilty punished? Is there less amount of drug trade, and does the vandalism against Hindus in Hindu temples and Hindu deities, attacks on that, does that come down, the desecration come down? We'll have to wait and watch. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Dr. Ranganathan stays on with us. We've got to take a very, very short break. When we come back, exclusive inputs on the free run that's been given to anti-India elements in Canada, not just anti-India, but thoroughly bigoted against Hindus. This is Hindu Messiah also on display, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us.
Well, but when it comes to several low-lying areas, there is waterlogging that's already started in several parts of the city. Yes.
Right, thank you so much for that, Yesha. Let me also take this across to my colleague Vivek Gupta from News18 India, who's with us on the broadcast. Vivek, the situation in Pune and other adjoining areas has really worsened. Orange and red alerts for Navi Mumbai as well. What is it looking like for this entire week, considering there's one more day for the schools to probably be allowed to not function because of the rain? So what are you learning in that regard?
बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने। देखिए, पुणे में कल देर रात से काफ़ी ज़्यादा तेज़ बारिश हो रही है और इतनी ज़्यादा बारिश होने की वजह से पुणे कलेक्टर ने डिसाइड किया है कि सभी स्कूलों को अब पुणे में बंद कर दिया गया है और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के जितने भी आसपास के इलाके हैं वहाँ पर फ्लडिंग हो रही है। फ्लडिंग की वजह से रोड और घरों तक पूरा तरह से पानी भर चुका है। लोगों को काफ़ी ज़्यादा परेशानी झेलनी पड़ रही है। इसी वजह से अब पुणे कलेक्टर ने एक एडवाइजरी जारी की है और साफ तौर पे कहा है कि पूरे पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेड अलर्ट घोषित कर दिया गया है। सभी स्कूलों को बंद कर दिया गया है, जिसके बाद जो भी इमरजेंसी काम ना हो वो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, क्योंकि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात यह है कि खड़क पासला डैम से 40,000 क्यूसेक पानी को छोड़ा जा रहा है। अगर बारिश इसी तरह कंटिन्यू रही तो पुणे के आसपास के इलाकों में और भी पानी भर सकता है। यही वजह है कि पुणे कलेक्टर ने सभी लोगों से कहा है कि कोई भी ज़रूरी काम ना हो तो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, गवर्नमेंट और प्रशासन की हेल्प करें। और गवर्नमेंट और जो वहाँ के लोकल म्यूनसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन है वो अपनी पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं जो फ्लडिंग एरिया है वहाँ से जल्द पानी को निकाला जा सके। लेकिन अब जो स्थिति है वो ज़्यादा अच्छी नहीं दिख पा रही है। कई इलाकों में, खासकर जो लो लाइन इलाके हैं पुणे और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के, वहाँ पे काफ़ी ज़्यादा पानी भर चुका है। जैसा मैंने आपको बताया कि खड़कवासला डैम से 40,000 क्यूसेक पानी छोड़ने की वजह से जो फ्लडिंग है वो और भी होती जा रही है और पूरे पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेड अलर्ट घोषित किया गया है।
राइट। ऑल्सो विवेक, क्या मुंबई की अगर बात करें तो क्या स्थिति है और स्पेशली लो लाइंग एरियाज के लिए क्या एडवाइजरी है?
देखिए, अगर खाली हम मुंबई की बात करें तो सुबह 8 बजे से पहले मुंबई में येलो अलर्ट था, लेकिन कंटिन्यू बारिश होने की वजह से अब जो है वो जो येलो अलर्ट है वो ऑरेंज अलर्ट में कन्वर्ट हो चुका है। और आईएमडी के लोगों का कहना है कि सुबह 10 बजे तक ये येलो अलर्ट होगा। 10 बजे के बाद फिर से मॉनिटरिंग की जाएगी सिचुएशन को। उसके बाद कॉल जाएगा कि येलो ऑरेंज अलर्ट को आगे मॉडिफाई करना है या नहीं। इसी वजह से मुंबई के भी कई इलाकों में बारिश हो रही है, खासकर जो लो लाइन इलाके हैं, कुर्ला, चेंबूर, विक्रोली, घाटकोपर, इन जगहों पर वो वाटर लॉगिंग की थोड़ी थोड़ी जो शिकायतें वो आ रही हैं। लेकिन फिलहाल अगर बात की जाए तो ऑरेंज अलर्ट है। जो सबब की बात करें तो मिलन सबवे, अंधेरी सबवे, खार सबवे को बंद कर दिया गया है, क्योंकि इस पूरे सबवे में पानी भर चुका है। और यही कोशिश की जा रही है कि जो बीएमसी ने मानसून से पहले जो तैयारियां की थी, हर जगह वाटर पंप लगाए गए हैं, उन सभी वाटर पंप के जरिए से पानी को निकाला जाए। लेकिन ऑरेंज अलर्ट होने के बावजूद भी मुंबई और आसपास के इलाकों में तेज बारिश हो रही है। नवी मुंबई
Back on with more proof of free run to radicals in Canada. We're getting you exclusive inputs from our security affairs editor Manoj Kumar Gupta. Canada MP Chandra Arya is under attack for criticizing K Coons. Seek for Justice or SFJ, the proscribed organization by the Bharatiya government, and other pro-K organizations are openly targeting Mr. Arya. The Indian origin MP has maintained that K threat is serious in Canada. The MP slammed K groups for Hindu temple vandalism. Hateful graffiti on Hindu temples in Greater Toronto area and the British Columbia had surfaced. And very clearly, Mr. Arya critical of the same. K extremists getting away with ease despite the hate rhetoric. Separatist leader and wanted terrorist by the Bharatiya government, Gurpatwan Panun, threatened Arya in a recent video. The threat to Chandra Arya to go back to India was openly put out. Now, this is from American soil, an American citizen targeting a Canadian MP for his Hindu and Indian roots, ladies and gentlemen. Indian government sources, meanwhile, have told CNN News 18 that radical elements are being given a free run in Canada. K-goons are attacking MP Chandra Arya, and this is serious in nature. Such threats show that Canada gives space to gangsters, drug mafia, serial killers, and secessionists. Can't happen without Canada government's backing for K extremists like Panun. Now, Panun himself is a US citizen and he's wanted by the Indian government for running this proscribed organization SFJ. Meanwhile, in a hard-hitting statement, Bharat has slammed Canada's duplicity, referring to action taken against those who targeted Justin Trudeau, but no action taken against those who are openly canvassing for breaking India and attacking Bharat's sovereignty. Canada adopting different yardsticks on the rule of law. This only exposes Canada's double standard. 2 people charged for threat to Trudeau, but no action on anti-India elements. Expect Canada to take action against anti-India elements. Indian leaders, institutions, airlines, diplomats repeatedly threatened, and now Canadian citizens, Hindus, are being threatened. Would like to see strong action on threats against us, is what Bharat has said. Bharat has also reacted very strongly to the vandalism in Edmonton. MEA spokesperson Randeep Jaiswal said have strongly taken up the matter with Canadian authorities in Delhi and Ottawa, condemned vandalization in Edmonton. Expect the local authorities to take swift action. Attacks against temples have become a recurring occurrence. Temples attacked with a purpose which is not difficult to fathom. Number of such incidents in recent times in Canada, and the lack of action against the perpetrators is clearly evident. Criminal elements further emboldened. Those advocating extremism must be brought to justice, and respect for pluralism in Canada will be severely undermined if that doesn't happen. Dr. Anand Ranganathan with us, and Mahendra Bhandari, Vice President of the VHP in Canada, should be joining us any moment now. Dr. Ranganathan, this is a growing concern. Anybody who posts something against Justin Trudeau is dealt with an iron hand. But those who attack Mr. Chandra Arya, those who attack Bharat, those who have the secessionist lines, brazen Hindu messiah on display, all of that is under freedom of expression.
Anand, I don't know whether it's possible to have a lighter note on a very serious discussion, but the fact of the matter is, when the vice president candidate of Mr. Trump, Mr. Vance, said that we might have UK as the first Islamic country to be a nuclear state, I think Canada might be the first Khalistani country to be a nuclear state. the kind of things that are happening in Canada are unprecedented. I have 2 points to make. Number one, as far as Hindu-misia, the correct term that you use, it's not Hindu-phobia. They don't fear Hinduism. They insult and they demean Hinduism, and they have hatred for Hinduism.
Yeah.
So Hindu-misia
Misia.
is unprecedented. You saw what happened in Leicester, you saw what happened in Melbourne, you saw what happened in Toronto, you saw what happened in San Francisco. Hindus are being targeted around the world. It is a fact. And the media is conspicuous by its silence. I'm not surprised by it. What surprises me is that they are the ones who are brandishing India, the same India, as a Hindutva, fascist, anti-Muslim state. So there is hypocrisy. India must address it. Coming to that specific question, I'm glad that you picked up that the MEA has kind of tweaked the ears of Canada on a separate issue. While on this issue, you talked about a government source. Well, I don't want it to be a government source any longer. I want Mr. Jaishankar, Dr. Jaishankar, to come out and openly criticize Canada and hold it to account. I think it is high time. You saw what happens routinely in USA when a Pakistani journalist asks a completely scripted question and America, as if on cue, waxes eloquent about the things that are wrong with India. Why can't we do it? It is high time we hold press conferences and take these rogue Western countries to task. Enough is enough.
Fair point made. Mahendra Bhandari ji, are you there with us? I'm just going to try. I think we just lost him. There he is. He's with us. Mahendra Bhandari ji, namaste. How would you respond to what's happening in Canada with the Canadian MP, Mr. Chandra Arya, openly being threatened and this vandalism on Hindu mandirs?
Just a Hindu MP, he's a MP, elected public officer of Canadian government. So when we talk about the threat to an elected official, it talks about how a free hand is being given to the people who is nobody in the government, who is nobody in any part of the Canadian judicial or statutory machineries, and they are giving threat to a person who is advocating for Canada. Before I comment about threats to Mr. Chandra Arya, this person, Pannu, has been threatening in different places, different intervals. But why he is doing so? He's targeting against India. He's targeting upon Indian Hindus. I'm a Canadian. So as a Canadian Hindu and as a Canadian citizen, I would like to give my perception first, if you kindly allow me.
Yes, please.
This is not the first time Pannu has given. And why he is attacking India or Mr. Chandra Arya, we need to understand Indo-Canadian relations. As on today, our business between India and Canada is about $8.7 billion in 2022, and it grew more than 10% in 2023. So we are talking about a business of almost $10 billion between these two countries. Now these people, whatever radical thoughts they have, whatever radical demands they have, it is nothing to do with Canada. They are simply trying to destroy and discredit Canada. They are not against India. They are actually first against Canada. They are discrediting Canada. They are creating a huge communal disharmony in Canada. And Canada is a great country, by the way. It is one of the best countries, I would say, since I have been here for the last 20 plus years. It is known for its democratic values. It has got freedom to follow any religion and any culture. It has got multiculturalism, diversity, and inclusion of all the communities living in Canada. Why people like him, in whatever demand they have, they are attacking to destroy relation with India.
Let me ask you something, Maheshji. See, Justin Trudeau is attacked on social media and 2 people are arrested. Chandra Arya is openly threatened. He is abused. What action is being taken? When it comes with the case of someone like a terrorist like Hardeep Nijjar, Canada is up at arms against Bharat. But why is Canada mum against America? Because Pannu is a US citizen. It's a US citizen threatening a Canadian citizen and a Canadian MP.
No, he is also a Canadian citizen also. He is a dual citizenship. So as a Canadian, he has
So two
right
citizens
to
who
speak.
threatened Trudeau should be arrested, but another citizen who threatened Chandra Arya should not be arrested. No action should be taken against him.
That's the question. That is talk about the government, that they need to be alert and take action right away, because Mr. Chandra Arya is not just a Hindu MP. He is not just a person who is openly and criticizing their non-democratic divisible demands of these elements. He is a part of government.
Yes.
And Canadian government must take immediate action, and at par he should be arrested. He should be brought under the law, because and not because he is simply targeting Chandra Arya. He is targeting Canada. He is trying to destroy Canada.
Right. So trying to destroy Canada, interesting perspective there. Dr. Ranganathan, I've run out of time, so we'll not be able to take this further, but we'll continue to track the story very carefully. Mahesh Bhandariji and Dr. Anand Ranganathan, thank you very, very much. On that note, we're going to call it a wrap on this edition of The Right Stand. Brass Tacks with Zaka up next. Stay with us.
दोनों डिस्ट्रिक्ट को रेड अलर्ट में रखा गया है, वहां पर भी बहुत ज्यादा तेज बारिश हो रही है कल रात से.
Right. Thank you so much for that, Vivek. And on that note, we are slipping into a very short break. Coming right back. Now getting some breaking news from Maharashtra. Schools in Pune, Pimpri, Chhindwara and nearby areas have been shut today as rains batter the region. Besides Pune city, the order to shut schools also applies for Pimpri, Chhindwara, Bor, Vele, Mawal, Mulshi and other areas of Maharashtra. In fact, the Met Department has issued an orange alert for Mumbai and Palghar, and there has been a red alert that's been issued for Navi Mumbai and Thane. My colleague Yesha has more details. Yesha, what is the situation of the rainfall in the region? And now that we see orange and red alert in various places in Maharashtra, what is it looking like for not just the schools being shut, but also for general colleges and offices that will be allowed to function?
So when you speak of the situation of rains in not only Mumbai but various parts of Maharashtra, as of now, of course, heavy rains continue in most of the parts of the state. Particularly when you speak of Pune, Mulshi area, as well as Baudhan, apart from that Raigad area, is where we've seen waterlogging. In fact, in several places in Pune, waterlogging is, there's 2 to 3 feet waterlogging, where there are several NDRF teams which have been deployed in and around Pune to rescue people. Apart from that, of course, there are, we also see that there is a heavy rain alert for the next 48 hours. In the entire state of Maharashtra, in Raigad as well, we see that the heavy rains have been experienced, which is where not only Pune but also Raigad, schools in Raigad have also been declared off for today, considering the heavy rains. Yes.
Also, Yesha, what is the situation looking like in Mumbai? Considering a little bit of rain, especially in low-lying areas, really spells a lot of havoc there. It is a trouble for commuters, to say the least. So what is the situation there?
So yes, of course, there's been incessant rains in Mumbai ever since late last night. However, as of now, schools and colleges have been kept. As of now, there's no holiday declared for schools and colleges. But of course, several low-lying areas, like you rightly mentioned, including Andheri subway and several such locations, they've been there is waterlogging that's been experienced, and such subways have been shut. So yes, though we see that when it comes to local trains, it's the lifeline of Mumbai. That in fact impacts the most. That impacts the commute most in Mumbai. As of now, those are running well, but when it comes to several low-lying areas, there is waterlogging that's already started in several parts of the city. Yes.
Right. Thank you so much for that, Yesha. Let me also take this across to my colleague Vivek Gupta from News18 India, who's with us on the broadcast. Vivek, the situation in Pune and other adjoining areas has really worsened. Orange and red alerts for Navi Mumbai as well. What is it looking like for this entire week, considering there's one more day for the schools to probably be allowed to not function because of the rain? So what are you learning in that regard?
बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने। देखिए पुणे में कल देर रात से काफी ज्यादा तेज बारिश हो रही है और इतनी ज्यादा बारिश होने की वजह से पुणे कलेक्टर ने डिसाइड किया है कि सभी
आपका नाम क्या है? तो मैं बॉयज को भी पूछूं, आपका नाम क्या है बेटा? आपका नाम क्या है?
मान्यता।
आपका नाम क्या है?
आशीष।
आपको क्या अच्छा लगता है पढ़ने में? मैथ। वाह, वेरी गुड। आपको क्या लगता है, क्या सब्जेक्ट अच्छा पसंद है?
साइंस।
साइंस, ओह वेरी गुड। अच्छा, क्या बनना चाहते हैं? साइंटिस्ट?
डॉक्टर।
डॉक्टर, ओह वेरी गुड। वर्ल्ड में तो थोड़ा बहुत समस्याएं हैं, लेकिन सबसे बड़ा अभी के दौर में क्या हो सकता है? क्या है?
क्लाइमेट चेंज।
वेरी गुड, बहुत अच्छा। सब ने बहुत अच्छा दिए आंसर दिए कि ग्लोबल वार्मिंग या पर्यावरण प्रदूषण।
पुणे में बंद कर दिया गया है और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के जितने भी आसपास के इलाके हैं वहां पर फ्लडिंग हो रही है। फ्लडिंग की वजह से रोड और घरों तक पूरा तरह से पानी भर चुका है। लोगों को काफी ज्यादा परेशानी झेलनी पड़ रही है। इसी वजह से अब पुणे कलेक्टर ने एक एडवाइजरी जारी की है और साफ तौर पे कहा है कि पूरे पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेड अलर्ट घोषित कर दिया गया है। सभी स्कूलों को बंद कर दिया गया है, जिसके बाद जो भी इमरजेंसी काम ना हो वो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, क्योंकि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात यह है कि खड़कवासला डैम से 40,000 क्यूसेक पानी को छोड़ा जा रहा है। अगर बारिश इसी तरह कंटिन्यू रही तो पुणे के आसपास के इलाकों में और भी पानी भर सकता है। यही वजह है कि पुणे कलेक्टर ने सभी लोगों से कहा है कि कोई भी जरूरी काम ना हो तो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, गवर्नमेंट और प्रशासन की हेल्प करें। और गवर्नमेंट और जो वहाँ के लोकल म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन है वो अपनी पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं जो फ्लडिंग एरिया है वहाँ से जल्द पानी को निकाला जा सके। लेकिन अब जो स्थिति है वो ज़्यादा अच्छी नहीं दिख पा रही है। कई इलाकों में, खासकर जो लो लाइन इलाके हैं पुणे और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के, वहाँ पे काफ़ी ज़्यादा पानी भर चुका है। जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि खड़कवासला डैम से 40,000 क्यूसेक पानी छोड़ने की वजह से जो फ्लडिंग है वो और भी होती जा रही है और पूरे पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेड अलर्ट घोषित किया गया है।
राइट। ऑल्सो विवेक, क्या मुंबई की अगर बात करें तो क्या स्थिति है और स्पेशली लो लाइंग एरियाज के लिए क्या एडवाइजरी है?
देखिए, अगर खाली हम मुंबई की बात करें तो सुबह 8 बजे से पहले मुंबई में येलो अलर्ट था, लेकिन कंटिन्यू बारिश होने की वजह से अब जो है वो जो येलो अलर्ट है वो ऑरेंज अलर्ट में कन्वर्ट हो चुका है। और आईएमडी के लोगों का कहना है कि सुबह 10 बजे तक ये येलो अलर्ट होगा। 10 बजे के बाद फिर से मॉनिटरिंग की जाएगी सिचुएशन को, उसके बाद कॉल लिया जाएगा कि ऑरेंज अलर्ट को आगे मॉडिफाई करना है या नहीं। इसी वजह से मुंबई के भी कई इलाकों में बारिश हो रही है, खासकर जो लो लाइन इलाके हैं कुर्ला, चेंबूर, विक्रोली, घाटकोपर, इन जगहों पर वाटर लॉगिंग की थोड़ी जो शिकायतें वो आ रही हैं। लेकिन फिलहाल अगर बात की जाए तो ऑरेंज अलर्ट है। जो सबब की बात करें तो मिलन सबवे, अंधेरी सबवे, खार सबवे को बंद कर दिया गया है क्योंकि इस पूरे सबवे में पानी भर चुका है। और यही कोशिश की जा रही है कि जो बीएमसी ने मानसून से पहले जो तैयारियां की थी, हर जगह वाटर पंप लगाए गए हैं, उन सभी वाटर पंप के जरिए से पानी को निकाला जाए। लेकिन ऑरेंज अलर्ट होने के बावजूद भी मुंबई और आसपास के इलाकों में तेज बारिश हो रही है। नवी मुंबई और थाने, इन दोनों डिस्ट्रिक्ट को रेड अलर्ट में रखा गया है। वहां पर भी बहुत ज्यादा तेज बारिश हो रही है कल रात से।
Right. Thank you so much for that, Vivek. And on that note, we are slipping into a very short break. Coming right back. Now getting some breaking news from Maharashtra. Schools in Pune, Pimpri, Chindwara and nearby areas have been shut today as rains batter the region. Besides Pune city, the order to shut schools also applies for Pimpri, Chindwara, Bor, Vele, Mawal, Mulshi and other areas of Maharashtra. In fact, the Met Department has issued an orange alert for Mumbai and Palghar, and there has been a red alert that's been issued for Navi Mumbai and Thane. My colleague Yesha has more details. Yesha, what is the situation of the rainfall in the region? And now that we see orange and red alert in various places in Maharashtra, what is it looking like for not just the schools being shut, but also for general colleges and offices that will be allowed to function?
So, this is CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio.
Hello, welcome to Rastax. I'm Zakir Jacob. We're coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime studio. Former Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi has made an open defence of Khalistani separatist Amritpal Singh, who is a newly elected MP from Khadur Sahib in Punjab. The justification from Mr. Channi is that at least 20 lakh people have voted for Amritpal Singh in that constituency. They have elected him as their representative. But the question is, and it's a very simple and basic question, how can this be acceptable? And that too said in the floor of the parliament. A man who has openly called for the secession of Khalistan out of the Union of India, how can an elected chief minister endorse such a man? And that too, the chief minister of a party which lost one of its tallest leaders, Indira Gandhi, to that same Khalistan